Watch out for the readers in the courtyard. I ain't gonna forget I come through. I keep on working, what about you? Stand up for the heroes in the avant-garde. Heads up, cause the rebels got the best card. Real world ready, Forbes in review. It's all in my hands, what about you? Greatness might be right around here. Glad you find the strength to stand. Maybe there's no right or wrong way to go. Seems your fate is all in your hand. Look out for the leaders in the boulevard. Watch out for the readers in the courtyard. I ain't gonna forget I come through. I keep on working, what about you? Stand up for the heroes in the avant-garde. Heads up, cause the rebels got the best card. Real world ready, Forbes in review. It's all in my hands, what about you? Look out for the leaders in the boulevard. Watch out for the readers in the courtyard. I ain't gonna forget I come through. I keep on working, what about you? Stand up for the heroes in the avant-garde. Heads up, cause the rebels got the best card. Real world ready, Forbes in review. It's all in my hands, what about you?
All right, guys, so we'll just give it about 2 to 3 minutes more. We can see a few people logging in. And in the meanwhile, if I could request all of you all to please edit your name and put Masters or MBA in the first, and then put your first name, so that at the end of this conversation, we can put you guys on the right breakout room to have a conversation with our alumni, Siddhant and Vignesh, who are present here today. So please, if you can just edit your name and add Masters or MBA next to your first name, it will help us.
Coach.
All right. Also, if everybody can be on mute, that would be great. All right, as people are pouring in, Garima, so we can start our presentation today. All right. Welcome everyone to our networking event today. I'm very delighted and glad to inform you that we have with us two of our alumni, Siddhant Sharma, who is the current product manager at Nike. He is based in Amsterdam. He's done the MBA program with us in Boston, graduating year of 2015. And we have with us Vignesh Ramesh, who is the operational manager at Rappel International in Dubai. Interestingly, he also is now looking at doing a second master's degree with HALT this year in our San Francisco campus. So we are really happy to have both of them here today. Small introduction about myself. I am the program director here at HALT. I look into both the master's and the MBA degree. I'm also an alumni. I've done the marketing program at HALT in 2015, based in Dubai. I have with me my colleague Priya Jain. She is the director of enrollment at HALT itself. She handles the entire master's and the MBA program as well. Priya, do you want to say a few words?
Hi, everyone. So glad that all of you could join. And yeah, we're looking forward to having a productive session today.
All right. So before we start, I'll walk you through a 1.5 minute video on the beginning and the making of HALT. From there onwards, we will discuss a little bit about the business school, because I'm sure most of you over here are still inquiring about your applications, about the school. Then Priya will take it over explaining about the programs. And we will land up and finally end up with some questions with our alumni, both Siddhant and Vignesh, before we break out into the breakout rooms with both MBAs and the masters.
My father, Bertel Holte, started EF 50 years ago. His base idea was that there was a better way to learn than just through books. We believe that experiential learning is just a better way to learn. Over the years, Bertel noticed that the world was getting more and more interconnected, and he thought that traditional business schools weren't necessarily keeping up. It was too theoretical. People weren't learning through doing, and we saw an opportunity to create a different kind of business school, which was more practical, more focused on what real companies need.
We wanted to create a business school which changed the way people are educated, so that the students learn by doing. That's why we started Hult. Because success in business today is as much about understanding globalization and cultures as it is about understanding finance and marketing. But business school in general weren't helping their students keep up with how quickly things were changing. We believed the world needed a practical school to educate not just leaders of business, but leaders of the world. And that's why Hult International Business School was born.
Since 2003, when Hult welcomed in its first class here in Cambridge, Hult has been a different kind of business school. Hult's an independent, not-for-profit, and we emphasize innovation, entrepreneurial thinking, and practical learning. Our goal is that students apply real lessons from real companies. Today, Hult has 6 campuses around the world. But it's not the campuses that make Hult global, it's the students. They come from over 150 nationalities, and they speak more than 100 languages. They bring their diverse perspective together to solve the most pressing issues facing business today. And in the process, they learn to think differently about the possibilities of the future.
I graduate tomorrow, and I know that I have developed the skill set that I need to be able to negotiate.
Studying business at Hult is very practical and hands-on because you get to work on real-life consulting projects.
So what really surprised me when I came to Hult is how close you are to the professors and how much they care about their students' learning.
What stood out for me the most about Hult was the diverse student body and the faculty.
It's kind of having like friends all over the world. All my life changed, all of it.
Our family believes in the power of transformative education, and we're really proud to support the Hult International Business School.
So a few things that come up over this video, and it really resonates to why I also selected Hult, was the diversity level, the practical knowledge, and the kind of campuses Hult has. And we'll walk you through about that in a bit. Now, to start off with, one of the most important things that I, as an alumni, as a program director here, consider here about Hult is we are the first US-based business school that has triple accreditations. Now, we did not have the triple accreditation right until 2018. 2018, we backed in EQUIS. If you go and dig deeper about EQUIS, AMBA, and AACSB, it resonates about how the business school is functioning, how the alumni are performing, what are our faculties doing, the research that our faculties are doing, and the practitioners that we have on campus. So there is no other US-based business school as on today that has triple accreditations. To define you the numbers even further, there's only 1% of schools globally that has all 3 of these accreditations. So if you're looking at a US-based business school that has degrees available in UK, in Dubai, and in US, I think this is one of the schools that you should be looking at. Now, over the last couple of years, we've been constantly getting awards from the associations of MBA. We call it the Innovative Curriculum Awards and the Career Strategy Awards. Now, the reason why I wanted to put this up, especially in this slide here, is a lot of our South Asia region and the Indian student specific are very, very focused on careers. Now, the Innovative Curriculum Award awarded by the associations of MBA really looks into what the curriculum is given by the business school. So for Hult, a lot of our curriculums, be it the MBA program, the master's program, we discuss year on year with CEOs of different corporates on the kind of potential employment that will happen a year from now. Say, for example, during COVID, right? During 2019, when COVID struck, most of our subjects were, we put in data visualization, design thinking, along with understanding how businesses work and function, which led to about 400 plus companies coming in 2020 itself to hire from HALT in multiple campuses. Similarly, the career strategy award that we've been winning year on year really talks about how each career advisor in different campuses that we have are focusing on our HALT students. Now, all of this does not say that we guarantee a job. All of this says that we make you job ready. Getting a job, you can get a job on campus, you can get jobs off campus. It's about the amount of networking that we do. And this is where I think it's important when we understand from our alumni and also from Priya, who will be talking to you more about the programs. Rankings. We rank among the best globally. So if you look at the Economist ranking, if you look at the Financial Times rankings, the Wall Street journals, the Forbes, we are there everywhere. We rank among the top 100 business schools globally among different ranking bodies. We rank number 1 in diversity. So roughly 150 plus nationalities come on campus year on year for starting their education here at HALT. Now I will give it to Priya, who will explain you about our programs and our campuses.
Thanks, Arjun. So we of course have a variety of business-related master's programs. So we have the International Business Program, the Finance, Marketing, and Business Analytics. Those are the master's programs. And then for MBA as well, we have the one-year MBA as well as the Executive MBA. And just recently, last year, we've added in a couple of new MBAs, which give you a little bit more flexibility if you're working and you want to study as well, which are the Hybrid MBA and the Live Online MBA programs. Now, the way that these programs are structured is they are 11-month programs, so you can finish them within a year. However, we also have something called the dual degree program. And how the dual degree program works is you can combine one degree with a second degree. And that program takes 18 months to complete. When you graduate from a dual degree program, you will get 2 separate degrees. So it's not one combined degree, but 2 separate degrees. So for example, someone could do the Master's in International Business and then do the Master's in International Marketing as their second degree. Or someone could do the MBA and then combine that with a Master's in Finance. And a couple of things I want to emphasize here is our Master's in Finance and our Master's in Business Analytics programs are STEM designated. And we'll go through that in a little bit more detail in the breakout rooms in case you have questions on STEM OPT and how that looks like, because that's quite specific to the US. Now, the way that your one-year program is structured is that for the first 8 months, you will be on a home campus. And we have campuses all over the world, namely in Boston, San Francisco, London, and Dubai. So those are the 4 home campuses. And now you can spend your first 8 months in any of these 4 home campuses. After you complete the first 8 months, your last 4 months, you can spend in either the home campuses or at rotation centers. So we have a rotation center in New York, and we have a rotation center in Shanghai. Right? This is where you would take your electives, and it's completely up to you where you would like to study. Right? So that's how we're structured in terms of location. Now, one thing at HALT that you will find, and it doesn't matter what program you do, learning is continuous. And this is something that, I mean, we have alums today on the call. I myself am an alumni of the program as well, so is Arjun. And one of the things that we benefit from is the fact that we can come back every year for the rest of our lives and do one elective for free. And the idea was, and I'm sure you heard it in the video as well, the idea is that things keep changing. Business keeps changing as well. And you have to keep yourself updated, but you're not going to continuously keep doing master's degrees. Sometimes you just need to upgrade in a particular skill set. And so we give you this option to come back and upgrade those skills every year for the rest of your life. And then finally, one thing that resonates very closely with me, but also the school is, of course, as a business school, we talk about creating financial impact, but we also talk about creating social impact. And the HALT Prize is a very big business competition that is held every single year. It's not a mandatory part of your course, but it is something we really, really recommend, because the way that the HALT Prize works is teams compete and they come up with ideas for social enterprises that solve a problem, but are also financially feasible. And the teams that make it to the finals, so there's 6 teams that make it to the finals, they pitch their idea at the United Nations in New York, And the team that wins Halt Prize gets $1 million in seed funding for their startup. So it's a really big platform, a very good learning opportunity as well, very good networking opportunity as well. So it's definitely something we recommend that you participate in. And of course, these are, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this right now. If you would like to connect with us, there's many different ways to do it. But you can go on the website, you can go on our Instagram page or Facebook page or LinkedIn as well. Feel free to connect with us in case you have any questions. We have enrollment advisors that are here to help you out through your entire process. Any questions that you have, we're happy to help you. All right, now we do have Sid and we have Vignesh on the call. So I wanted to sort of introduce you to them a little bit. Sid, if you would like to just introduce yourself quickly and give us a bit of a brief on your Halt journey, and then Vignesh, if you could do the same.
Yeah, thanks, Priya. Thanks, Arjun. Hi, everyone. My name is Sid, goes by the name of Siddhant. I have been with Halt in 2015, 2016 as part of the Halt Boston campus, and I was part of the MBA program there. Currently, I'm right now working as a product manager within business analytics within Nike, within the supply chain operations. And my journey within Halt has been monumental for what I've been and what I wanted to do before my MBA and after. I'm sure we're going to go into Q&A sessions. Happy to take that through. But yeah, that's about it from my side.
Yeah.
Thanks, Siddharth. Hi, everybody. My name is Vignesh. I'm here in Dubai. I'm an entrepreneur. I work in my family business in metal exports, and I also run an electronic-based recycling manufacturing plant here. So my journey in Halt was simply the transformation from what I was before and what happened after Halt. It was actually surreal. I never expected things to happen. So maybe let's if you have any questions regarding masters and how you're going to face it, we are happy to help you.
Right. So I just wanted to, before we break out into breakout rooms, and I would want this opportunity because I still see a lot of students who not yet put in their name as masters or MBA. By the time we just ask Siddhant and Vignesh one or two questions, please, I request all of you all to just put in masters or MBA before your first name, so that we can put the relevant people in the right breakout rooms. Remember one thing: if you looking at the MBA program, you need to have minimum 3 years of full-time work experience. So make sure that if you are a fresher, please put in masters, and if you are an experienced individual, please put in the MBA program. Now, Siddhant and Vignesh, now before students are putting and renaming themselves, let me understand how the Halt journey really affected you in terms of networking. I remember also during my time at Halt, our parents are always freaking out when it comes towards employment, ROI in terms of the right companies. What would you guys want to tell our students, our future applicants, that how do you place yourself in career moves when you're doing business and with Halt in Halt, and how did that help you network outside? If one of you want to start with that.
Yeah, I can go ahead. So that's a very nice question, Arjun. So I strongly believe, and I think in one of the videos where you also mentioned, right, Halt has this ideology of doing things and then learning rather than focusing on academics, right? So in terms of purely networking, I had an idea of what I wanted to do after my MBA. So what I was doing, I was in a very technical domain, and I really wanted to understand more the 360 holistic approach about how businesses are run, and then getting that perspective into place, right? And when you enter into Halt, the beauty about Halt is that the amount of people from different cultures and the nationalities you get there. And then if you have a goal in your head that this is where I want to go, you will find so many people in so many different areas who might not be directly attached with your goal, but they might have some crucial experiences, or you work with them during projects where you learn a lot of things, which will help you elevate that experience of academics more than. So I would say that is how HALT has actually shaped me. I clearly remember in my cohort, I had people from more than 70 nationalities in there, and people from varied experience. Right, I was a guy with a 5-year experience, one of the youngest guys in my MBA, but I also had people with 30 years of experience in there. And then that's where, those group discussions or those discussions within your academics become so enriched, and then you can actually partner up with people. So that's how HALT actually helped me from what I was doing and from what I'm doing right now.
Thank you, Sid. Vignesh?
Uh, okay, so before coming to HALT, I was still in Dubai and working for my family business. But let me just get through it. Before HALT, it was like all my coworkers, my employees that I had were from just two nationalities. They were from either India or Pakistan. That's it. But what I wanted to do in HALT was like to understand the tools, like learn more on how to better the operation thing and things like that. I ended up doing that, but on top of that, it was also like I changed the culture of how my company works. Right now, we have like 8 nationalities working together, and it's even growing more. So I think that was something that I never thought, I'd learn or, that I'll implement in myself or something like that. So it's not just like of course, it's the academics and the tools that you've got and the insights that you learn at the end of the day. But it's also like, the social culture, the awareness and things like that you won't be able to, get it from just meeting people or in your business background. So I think that's where HAL stood out for me and helped me out a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. All right. Now, HALT prize, like Priya mentioned, is a very important aspect of developing yourself, also getting out of your comfort zone. It's important. Now, did any of you take part in HALT prize? How was the experience?
Oh, yeah, I did.
How was it?
Yes, my HAL prize was the theme of the year was sustainability. So we had to come up with a sustainable solution for us. So what we did was we tried to address the energy problem in Africa, especially Nigeria, because like two of my teammates were hailing from, and it was a really big problem. Like the issue was like they just get 8 hours of electricity a day, and the rest is just generators and things like that. So what happened was we started as a team, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have watched Shark Tank or something like that, an entrepreneur show or things like that. And what happened was before the end of our inter class what do you call selection, we had a lot of mentors who came and trained us in things we don't know or we have not even heard of and things like that. And on the top of that, like we had interactions with each other, different teams, not the idea itself, but how to organize ourselves and move and things like that. We didn't win, but yeah, it was some experience. That's what I'd say.
And Sid?
Yeah, for me, I think I definitely participated in HALT Prize. That's one of the key drivers when you get into such like a business school and you have this biggest entrepreneurship competition going through. I did not win that, unfortunately, but I can very proudly say the experience which I got from there actually helped me achieve a first position in during your MBA in the last phase. You need to come up with a HALT Impact Challenge, which is again and within the campus entrepreneurship competition. So my team actually stood first during that. So I think what I took basically, and what I would just suggest is. There are these events going on campus, right? And where you partner with people coming. So I remember in my HALT Prize team, there were people from, I think, 4 nationalities, and I was like from India, and we were trying to solve a problem in Dharavi. And, the amount of perspectives and ideas you can get out of those things is just unimaginable, right? Like people come from so many different, as I said again, that was so much amazing to see. and I was not demotivated that I did not win the competition or did not go through, because the insights I got, that I actually learned a lot from that, and actually implemented back in my curriculum, where we were missing those key niche skills on a lot of things which could have been improved, and we actually did that. So I would just say, if you guys join HULT, I think that's one of the go-to thing, and make a mission to actually go onto that stage and get that $1 million worth prize money.
Right. All right. Now I know Priya has one question, but before that also, guys, we'll have one or two open-ended questions over here, and then we'll put it across on the breakout rooms. Because I've been seeing in chat someone wants to ask a question. So Priya, all on you, and after that we'll take up.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, you guys can start putting your questions in already. I just had the one question I had, I guess, because most of the people on this call are, incoming students for next year, for example, prospective students. They're obviously doing their research now. What advice would you give to them at this stage?
Yeah, for I was an intake for the September batch as well and one advice I could not stress more is be early in the game, and it has a ripple effect on a lot of things, right? Choosing the right business schools, but once you've chosen it, you need to also make sure you get your accommodations right, you get your people right, you start networking. And that's one of the piece of advice I would like to say is, once you're in this journey, and specifically HULT started a new MBA program with dual degrees and things like that. But during that time when I was there, it was a compact course for 12 months, right? So you need to start your game pretty early to be ahead of doing a lot of things which you will do later in the year. And that's all going to benefit you once you start going out and start networking, start looking for jobs, and focus on what you want to achieve, right? So if you start your homework early, as we say in the Indian language, you'll have a better life when you have your exam days coming through. So I would just say that would be one piece of advice. If you are looking for a business school, just make the decision and then go ahead and get started with your journey ASAP.
Great. Thanks, Siddhant. Vignesh, anything from you?
My advice would be like you should have an open mind for what you want to do. It cannot be just getting a new job. It should be more better than that, your perspective of what you're looking for. And with that mindset, if you start looking for what you really want, then maybe you'll be able to reach what you want to. That's it. And also use LinkedIn. That's really a powerful tool nowadays.
Right. So we have a question here from Bhavani. She wanted to have a question for both of you. In fact.
Thanks, George. I think.
All right. So I'm going to read out the question that Bhavani has put across for you both, and one of you can answer, both of you can answer. She wanted both of you, perspective of both of you. Okay. So my question is, if you guys have rotated between campuses, how does it substantially change the way they learn? So the way you've learned. So if you rotated, you can comment on that. If you've not rotated, and now because you are there and you've studied in some campus, you're living somewhere else, how does that change for you?
Yeah, I can go on that. So for me personally, I did not rotate to one of the campuses, and simply that was more because of a personal reason. But now, I think I really wanted to go to China and have an experience there. I think there was a Shanghai campus, and then I really wanted to go there and experience the difference, right? And now having worked in the US for 3 years and now shifted to Europe, I can see how much of a difference it can actually make once you start rotating among these campuses and the people who actually join these campuses. And if you get a chance to interact and work on projects, this is something which can widen your horizon or your way of thinking. I'm at Nike also. I'm in their European headquarters, so I need to really make sure the strategy and the vision I make for my team is it doesn't only cover just one country. It has to cover the whole of Europe, and Europe is so much varied and different that you need these kind of things. So I think if you get the chance to actually go and rotate, and yeah, there is if you can do that, then I would strongly support to go and go for it. But I personally did not do it just because of logistical reasons.
All right. And Vignesh?
Unfortunately, I could not do the OPT because the pandemic struck just when we were about to finish our masters. We all had our visas and things to rotate, and then we were all moved into online classes because like it was at the peak, like last year, I remember. But yeah, actually, I plan to go to two of the campuses, one in London and the other one in New York. But but a lot of friends of mine who did the dual degree later also have mentioned that it's more dependent on what specific industry you're looking for, or like what you want to learn more about. Like for example, if you're into tech or something, obviously the Bay Area should be your consideration, or if you're into finance or something like that. It all depends on what you want or what you want to make out of it. I'm sure you'll be able to maybe learn by the first 8 months and then figure out what you really want, and then maybe you figure out like make sure that which of the campuses you want to select your OPT into. That should be.
And interestingly, for everybody to know, Vignesh did the Masters in International Business in Dubai. He is coming back to Hull to do the full-time Masters of Business Analytics in San Francisco, and he will be flying in the next 3 weeks to our San Francisco campus, and we'll be studying there for the full year there. So we wish Vignesh all the best. Enjoy your time there, meet a lot of people, network a lot. I see 2 questions coming in. I'll ask Priya to answer one of them, and I'll answer the other one from the MBA. And then we'll break out into breakout rooms right after that.
Yeah. All right. So Amritesh asks, what is the average salary that your graduates get after graduation? Do you have any other entrepreneurial competitions apart from the social ones that you have mentioned, and also about scholarships that are available to students? So there's 3 questions really. Amritesh, also one thing I will advise is at the end of the call, Arjun and I will be sharing our Calendly links. So that's access to our calendar, and we block some time for anyone that's attended this call to also speak with us sometime this week. So you can block some time, especially if you want to have sort of a one-to-one conversation, so you also understand where do you stand right now. Because of course, yes, I can tell you that, let's say the average salary for an MBA graduate is somewhere around $90,000 US, right? But it can be very different for someone who has 4 years of experience versus someone who has 15 years of experience, right? Because your start, yes, the increase is there because of the MBA or because of a master's program, but your starting point can be very different, right? So we can have that one-to-one conversation. I'm happy to do that. Schedule some time with me. To answer your second question, do you have any other entrepreneurial competitions? Yes, there's a lot that happens, not just on campus, but off campus as well. So keep your, sort of your eyes and ears open for that, because depending on which campus you're going to as well, I know for a fact that Boston, San Francisco, there's a lot of competitions that happen. There's a lot of things also. If you're, let's say, an entrepreneur yourself, there's a lot of startups that also help you with sort of figuring out how do you, put together an investor's pitch, or what does your slide deck look like. So there's a lot of those sorts of events that you can attend. And this is something that, you may even start your own club related to entrepreneurship, right? So those are all things that you can definitely do. And then the final question about scholarships. Again, this is on a case by case, but there are different categories for scholarships. So there are ones that are related to academics. There's one called, entrepreneurial impact. There's one called social impact. These are all things that, of course, are really important to us at HALT. And so you can apply for one of those particular scholarship categories. Right? So hopefully that briefly answers your question. But like I said, I'm happy to have a more specific conversation with you based on your profile.
And so Deepak has mentioned over here, if I pursue the MBA at one of the campuses, the placement will be region specific, or I can expect companies hiring for other global locations. All right. To answer this from our perspective, from the enrollment side, now we have career advisors in every campus, right? And the role of a career advisor is to make sure that networking is well, and the companies are coming to the specific campus or the country. However, a lot of times what happens is companies hire in a specific location and put you in another location, right? To give you a few examples of students working also in global places. So Siddhant here, he did it in Boston, he's working in Amsterdam. We have people, Emmanuel George, he was in Boston, he's currently working in Paris. We have people who are working with Amazon. Amazon has multiple headquarters, they're working across the globe. Again, it's not specific to a region. Now, I was also studying in Boston, but I am working in Dubai. So it really depends on how you have that conversations with the employers. Where is the employer actually hiring? And of course, it's important also for you to identify, like Siddhant said, very early on, what is your dream industry, identify plan A, plan B, plan C, and work towards that. Just to make everything very more smoother in terms of very specific conversation, both Priya and I have put in our Calendly links on the chat box. Please block our time if you want specific conversations regarding programs, careers, or anything in those lines. We are happy to have conversations this upcoming week. Now I request Garima to just put across the breakout room so Siddhant and I can handle the MBA students with any questions, and Priya and Vignesh can speak to the master students with specifics of masters.
Thank you, Arjun. So I'm just going to open the breakout rooms, but there's some people who haven't specified what room they want to be in. So you'll have the option to choose whichever room. So please do so.
Thank you, Garima. All right. So by the time we just get everybody in, there we have everybody just pouring in. All right. So I think those were the number of people, but any last minute questions? We can just take one question each and then we close it, because in 7 minutes, I know they have other works that they need to do and we block their time for about an hour. Any last minute questions? So I'm going to take one question from Bhavani. How does being a student ambassador work? Who would want to say this? Respond to this, Vignesh or Siddhant?
Arjun, I think you were the student ambassador.
So from the enrollment side, how does it work from the student ambassador point of view? Of course, there are different kinds of ambassadors that are there. There are people who are contributing to the school. There are people who are looking into clubs. It really depends on where you want to achieve. I really love, like I was telling you about me earlier, I really love communication. I really love conversations. I applied for the student ambassador role. There was a full voting that happened, and it was a great voting process. I still remember, and it just gives you that added value when it comes towards representing the student body in different schools, making sure that things are in the right process. Also, because we have so many multiple clubs and societies, making sure everything is running smoothly. It is a nice process for overall development, but more than all of that, I would urge everybody to make sure that you guys actually are doing a lot of multiple projects and opening up a lot of multiple projects.
Yeah. And just to add to that, you can actually use it. I was talking about this in the master's group, sort of how you build your profile and things like that. You can actually use clubs and societies towards that as well. Like I know one of our MIB students, he was really, really interested in working in the food and beverage industry, but didn't have too much experience prior. And he also had this love for chocolate, right? So he started a chocolate society and used that to call guest speakers from the food and beverage industry. And now he works for a company called Kombucha. I think maybe a lot of you would know the drinks company Kombucha. So he works for them, and that's how he used that to his advantage. Or I know someone else as well that was interested in working in business analytics. So he started a business analytics club, or rather he didn't start it, but he joined that club, again, started networking with people within industry. And now he works for a startup in San Francisco or in the Bay Area related to analytics. And they've actually sponsored his H-1B visa. He's a Brazilian student that we had, and now they've sponsored his H-1B. So yeah, you can definitely use all of these things to your advantage.
Right. Okay. Now, with that said, I would want to just close this networking event today. Thank you so much, Siddhant, for taking out some time on your Sunday, blocking in 1 hour. It was really a wonderful meeting you after so long virtually. We will meet in Amsterdam sometime soon. Vignesh, it was a pleasure having you here. We're going to see you in San Francisco in 3 weeks. All the very best for the upcoming year. Make sure, again, network well, get as many people to network so that you can eventually grow your family business in different parts of the world. Thank you, Priya, for hosting.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Arjun.
Thanks, everyone.
And Garima for organizing this entire event. Guys, if you guys have any questions, please do block Priya's and my calendar. We are happy to help you. Connect with our alumni on LinkedIn. Don't bombard them with messages, but yes, connect with them. It's great to have connections. And we will reach out to you sometime early next week on calls just to discuss if you guys have any questions with us. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great evening ahead.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Ciao.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
everyone.
guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.